Hello, Jennifer Priest of the Zetter design team here to tell you about two new products that came out at our summer CHA trade show. These are both products that work with our Bind-it-All and our existing tools. This is called Add-it-Alls, and it allows you to add an extra page to your project after it's already been bound. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a little bit. The other product that we have is called the Binding Buddy, and this works with your current Bind-it-All version 2.0, the pink Bind-it-All, or you can use it with the blue Bind-it-All, the version 1.0. And what this does is it allows you to close more O-wires at one time with your Bind-it-All than just using the Bind-it-All alone. So the Bind-it-All works great to close 6 wires at a time, but sometimes if you're in a hurry, you might want to use the Binding Buddy, which will allow you to close up to 12 O-wires at one time. So here's how it works. It comes with 2 different plates. One says Zetter Innovative Products and the other one says Binding Buddy. And the way that you're going to place these into your Bind-it-All is as follows. So the portion of the Binding Buddy that says Binding Buddy is actually going to slip over the part of the plate on your Bind-it-All that moves when you press the handle down. So what you'll do is press the handle down on your Bind-it-All, slide the Binding Buddy or slip the Binding Buddy right over top of this plate. You want to make sure that it's centered, and then you will just close the handle. So now the plate is installed, and this plate is removable, so you can take it apart or take it off of your Bind-it-All when you're getting ready to transport it, or you can just use it when you need to close more O-wires at one time, and take it off when you're just closing 6 O-wires at a time. The next part of the Binding Buddy is this plate, and this attaches to this backer plate here on your Bind-it-All. And there's a piece of tape right here that is non-slip tape, so that when you're squeezing your O-wires or closing them, they will not slip. And on the different versions of the Bind-it-All, depending on how much use your Bind-it-All has had, this tape may be a little bit thicker than other Bind-it-Alls. And that's fine. What you're going to do with this plate is you're going to slip it on from the top, and you want to match it up to these sections of the Bind-it-All. So you can kind of see that this, if I turn it over this way, you can see that this plate flares out a little bit right there. You're going to slip the Binding Buddy over top so that the notches on the Binding Buddy fit right over those flares. Okay, so just slide it on from the top. And if your Bind-it-All, on some of these it'll slide on a little bit easier, and on some it'll be a little bit more difficult, and that's only because the tape is thicker. So once you've slid it on and off a couple times, the tape will be compressed a little bit more, and it'll be just easy peasy to slide it on and off. Alright, now that we have our Binding Buddy installed, we're ready to close the O-wires on a book. And you're going to set the O-wire channel exactly the same way as we set the O-wire channel on the Bind-it-All without the Binding Buddy. You're going to locate the plastic tab that coordinates with the size of O-wire you're using. So here I have 3/4 inch O-wire, so I'm going to set my channel for 3/4 inch O-wire. So what I'll do is I'll use this plastic tab to set the channel. I'll use the knob here to widen the channel first. And then I want my tab to slide freely in the channel. So now that the tab fits in the channel really well, I'm ready to close my O-wires. So here I have a book that I'm going to bind with the Bind-it-All. And it's a 6-inch tall book, so here's 10 loops of O-wire. And normally on the Bind-it-All this would take 2 passes to close, which is totally fine. But say I'm making a bunch of these for a wedding or something like that, I may want to use my Binding Buddy to close them quicker. So I'm just going to place my O-wires in the channel here, just like I normally would on the Bind-it-All, making sure that the little feet of my O-wires are flat down on that black base of the Bind-it-All. I will simply press the handle down. Let me move this ribbon so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I will press the handle down, and now it's going to close all of those O-wires all at once. And so now my book is bound. Now, what if I made this and I discovered that I forgot to put something inside of the book? Well, I can use our removable page protectors to add extra photos in. But what if I actually forgot a page in the book? So here I can use this and just, you know, hook it into my O-wires. Now, if I forgot an actual page in the book, what I can do is now use the Add-it-alls. It's just the same mechanism as our removable page protectors, but it has an adhesive strip along one side of it so that you can attach it to anything. So let's say that I wanted to add this cute little fancy paper bag to my book as a page. What I would do is peel the adhesive backing off of my Add-it-all. And these come in 12-inch strips. So say it was a 12-inch strip, what I would do is kind of line it up to my item and see if it's too long. And what you'll want to do is cut it between the little broken loops. Okay, so you're going to cut it like in the middle of one of the T's. And since it comes in 12-inch lengths, it comes with several to a pack. You can cut this and use it for lots of different books and lots of items of different heights. All right, once I have my adhesive exposed, what I'll do is just adhere my bag to it. And this works great with greeting cards or any kind of thing you want to add to your book. Now, if it's too long, I can trim it just a little bit more. And now I'm ready to add this page to my book. So I can just turn to the page that I want it to be at. Let's say right here. And now I will just pop the little T shapes in between the O-wires. And now my book is attached, or my page is attached to my book, and no one will ever know the difference. Now, the other thing that I find really cool about Add-it-alls is that you can add thicker items. So this is from the LA County Fair. It's the little fair book that I got when I took my kids to the fair. And it's just a little bit thick to go in the Bind-it-all, and maybe I don't want it punched because I want to be able to see like the map on the inside and not have holes in it. So the Add-it-alls are a really good thing to use to add things like this to your books. So what I'll do is again remove my adhesive. And you don't have to use a full 12-inch piece. Like this is an 8-inch tall book. I don't have to use a full 8-inch Add-it-all to add this page in. So I'm just going to lay my Add-it-all down with the adhesive side up, stick my book to it, and now I can just easily snap this into my mini album, and it's a page in there, and I still preserve the integrity of my book. I can still use it, it's still functional as a book, but it's part of my album now, so I have it all here in one place, everything we did at the fair. The other thing I like about Add-it-alls is that you can add them to irregular pages like this. It has these cute little scallop edges, and you don't really want to put them into your Bind-it-all. With Add-it-alls, I can decorate my pages in a class, and then I can preserve the cute little edges by using just the adhesive. So I'm not punching the holes into my page, I'm just adding basically like a pre-punched holes to my page. So again, I'll just kind of line it up and see where I need to cut. You always want to cut in the center of the T. Remove the adhesive. And then I'm just going to place my page right onto the Add-it-all. So now I can hook this into my mini book. Like I can take the one that I made earlier and I can hook this into it as a page. But I still have my really cute little scalloped edges there. And I didn't have to, I could go ahead and decorate this while I was in my class and not worry about having to come home and figure it out, or say I didn't bring my Bind-it-all with me to a crop and I did a make and take. I can now add those pages to my book without having to punch through them.